Sky Genie Entertainment presents the following. The Holiday Edition is not suitable for children under the age of 18. It contains coarse language, sexual references, my own personal views and opinions. The characters of the show are fictional and are made for fun, not harm. I'd like to thank you for listening to the Holiday Edition. The Sky Genie Show will not be on this week, so please enjoy the Holiday Edition. Hello and welcome to the Sky Genie Show. This is the worst show ever. This is the holiday edition of the Sky Genie Show. I am currently out of town, and so I decided to do a holiday edition. Here is my guest, Johny Florida. How you doing, Johny?
Oh, I'm stuck in traffic right now, so I'm doing dandy.
That's fine. So what we'll be doing with this holiday edition, since, well, I won't really make it a secret, it's taped well in advance for three-parters. I'll be doing an interview with Johny Florida, so I'll start off about how you were brought up, and where you were born, how you were brought up, and so what was it like growing up?
Well, a lot of that I know people probably don't want to hear about, so, I'll skip most of it, but, I'm a native of New York, good old America, USA. I don't know, I come from a blue-collar family, hard workers. Grew up being a little bit of a bit of an asshole, but hey, that's just how I was as a kid, but you can't be 20 forever. But,
no, you can't.
No, it's seriously, no, I was an idiot when I was a kid, so hey, grow up, turn 18, join the military, ship after basic, did my deployment over in Iraq, got out after 4.5 years in. So, went to college. I do my work helping people and all that, and I run the operations for the Wrestling National Committe podcast. Jenkins is in charge. I'm just the operations guy. So.
Okay. That cut most of my interview, but anyway.
Yeah, I know. The way I figured no one's really going to want to hear too much about that. I mean, about me like that, but I can get a little bit more involved, when we're talking wrestling or something, about how it was for me growing up, I guess. But that's about it.
It's alright. So we'll talk about your military background, of course. What got you interested in military, and how far did you end up getting into military?
So, like I mentioned, how I was when I was a kid and all that. I had no future, really. Like, you can ask my parents. The only hope they thought for me after high school was maybe I'd become a professional wrestler. I'm serious. It's not even a joke. So, but we moved to Florida when I finished 9th grade. I know for you guys, the grading system's a little bit different. Here in the States, we have 12 grades after kindergarten. So, and 12 grades when you graduate high school. So, after 9th grade, we moved to Florida, and, there was a JROTC unit, a Navy JROTC. ROTC is a military-style schooling at a public or private high school. And I got into that, and I found a passion, a discipline, camaraderie, duty on a country, all that. So people get reborn in religion, like Sting and Shawn Michaels. Me, I got reborn because of the military. I found a passion. I found a future and all that. So I was 17 when I signed up for what's called the Delayed Entry Program. Means I'm already in the Army, so to speak, or I'm already committed to go into the Army, but I was still in high school. Ship out for basic training, and rest is kind of history. I became a military policeman in the Army.
So may I ask, did you serve overseas, like in Afghanistan or Iraq or anything like that?
Yeah. So after I was done with training, my first unit was in Germany, and I was there for only about 4.5 months because then we deployed to Iraq. So I was in Kuwait for some training, got to Iraq, did a 15-month deployment there, went from April of 08 to June of 09, beginning to end almost. My birthday is in the middle of that, so I celebrated 2 birthdays in Iraq. I entered Iraq at the age of 18, and I left Iraq at the age of 20. So good stuff there.
So I was about to ask, well, I guess the fun thing about this show, is there any stories that you can legally tell?
I got nothing. I didn't commit any. Legally? Really? What do you think? I'm Idi Amin or something? I'm Hideki Tojo or something? Really? Come on. Dude. Seriously.
Oh, come on.
I know, Rob,
you get wrestler stories, but then, there's times that, hey, you got drunk and did this and that. And...
No, that was your boys. We had Australians and Brits. They were allowed to drink over there. We weren't. You guys got the party hardy. We couldn't do shit.
Yeah, that's Australia. If you can't get pissed, you can't do it.
Exactly. Well, what's the whole point of going to war if I can't drink some scotch alongside it?
Well, you think about it, like, people probably fight better when they're drunk, so why not get all the soldiers drunk so they could just kill more people?
No. Soldiers cannot fight better when they're drunk. They could just take bullets possibly more, because they're not going to feel it as much. That's all.
That is true. So, how far did you end up getting into the Army?
So, I did 4.5 years in the Army, and I ended up getting out on some medical. I came back from Iraq, went to Germany, finished up my time there, got stationed over in Alaska, and some of my medical stuff from the deployment came back to me, and haunted me with that crap. So put me through a medical board. I got out on I got medically discharged as a corporal. So for you guys, it's a high thing.
So were you injured or?
I'll admit I kind of don't really talk about the medical and everything. I don't talk too much. So that's not against you. You're my favorite. There's a reason why I call you the Australian.
It's fun. Like if it's a medical issue you can't talk about, I'm fine. It's just funny. It wasn't an injury sort of related.
Not can't talk about. I just choose not to. So I'll die myself out on that.
That's fair enough. So we go on to the world because you're actually into the world of politics, and I won't bore everyone, because I pretty much hate politics as much as everybody. But is that more of a thing because you're in the army, you take more of an interest in politics, or is that just you in general?
See, here's the weird way I look at it. And I'm not going to delve into it because I know people can't stand me talking politics. I'm like Don Tony Diet. To me, politics is a lot like the military. You got your chain of command, you got your hierarchy, you got who you serve. The military serves the people of the United States. We take our oath. Do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. Being in politics to me is the same thing. You take your oath when you become a congressman or a senator. For you guys, you call it MPs. You take the oath to the Constitution of the country and to be there for the good of the people. And the military has a uniform. Politics, they have a suit or dress, but to me it's almost the same thing. The difference is people forget nobody in the military, whether it's the U.S. Navy, the U.S. Air Force, the Australian Army, the Royal Canadian Air Force, none of them, no troops go overseas anywhere without the approval of the Secretary or Minister of Defense, and without the President of the United States, or in you guys' case, the Prime Minister and the Governor General. So the correlation's there because the soldiers, whether they're doing an alliance work, if we have our troops training with you guys, that's because of the Secretary of State and the Foreign Affairs Minister, for you guys, I believe that you guys call it, working together alongside with our Minister and Secretary of Defense. If we go to combat, politicians have to approve it. So what the military does in the combat zone is what politicians do back in the legislative zone for the rest of the country.
Okay. I
know it's a little long and weird. I'm sorry.
That's how it goes. We're coming on to our first breaks. So after the break, more of an interview with Johny Florida.
The Sky Genie Show will be back after the break. Can't get enough of the Sky Genie Show? Check out the website, skygenieshow.weebly.com. There you'll find links to past shows and much more. Go to skygenieshow.weebly.com today for in-depth discussion of professional wrestling as well as politics and the stupid laws in your state. Check out Wrestling's National Committee with Johny Florida, Old Man Jenkins and Papa Dave Sensei, live on Mixlr on Tuesdays during SmackDown, or the after party of Wrestling Soup, and on Sundays. Check them out. For in-depth discussion and show updates, go to the show's Facebook at the Sky Genie Show page. Do you need more fruits and vegetables in your diet? Check out juiceplus.com.au today. Juice Plus is the convenient and inexpensive way to add more nutrition to your diet from fruits and vegetables every day. Juice Plus Fruit Blend is made from 7 different fruits. Juice Plus Vegetable Blend is made from 10 different vegetables, grains, plus an array of natural antioxidants, phytochemicals, and fiber in a convenient capsule form. Each ingredient is especially selected to provide you with a wide range of nutritional benefits. We call it next best thing to fruits and vegetables. Check out juiceplus.com.au today. For those wanting to follow me on Twitter, it's at SDD916. Check it out. For discussions and opinions on the events of professional wrestling, check out Wrestling Soup with Joey Numbers, Anthony Missionary Thomas, and John Draper as they break down what's good and what's bad in professional wrestling with a light-hearted approach. Thursdays, 9:30 on Mixlr, Saturday morning-ish, and after every WWE pay-per-view, you get a free post-show review. Check out Wrestling Soup, motherfuckers. You are listening to the Sky Genie Show.
We are back with Johnny Florida. We're going to dive into professional wrestling, how you got started watching professional wrestling and what caught your interest. So talk away.
You just opened Pandora's box, allowing me to talk away. So I'll try to be brief.
It's all right. I've already given you the nickname "Total Nonstop Podcasting," so why not? Go ahead.
That's true. Literally, I was just channel surfing. I was like 8 years old, and I was channel surfing. Found WCW, the American WCW, clearly, not Jim Barnett's WCW of the 70s back in Australia. Found WCW, got into wrestling and enjoyed it. 2 years later, found WWF and was doing back and forth on Mondays, and watching from there. So that's how I literally got into it. I've loved wrestling because of the sport of it. There's an art to it. You get real diehard wrestling fans who go to sport, which I do say it is. Others say it's an art, which I still say it is. Every sport is an art in my mind. And I'm a little different because I love the history, so I also look at the territories, as we called it back in the day, and I love the independence, which to me is a revival of the territories from back in the day. So if any non-American wrestling fans, the United States used to be cut up into territories of what feds that were part of the NWA, who controlled what. Mid-South went from Oklahoma to Louisiana. World Class had Northeast Texas. Mid-Atlantic was from Virginia down to South Carolina, and so on and so forth. So the independents, the indies, they're local feds around the areas as well, so that's what they like that. And I got into them in 2003 when I got to go to my first indie show back in Long Island, New York, when I lived there, and fell in love with the indies ever since. So it's been 14 years.
So I have to ask that because as you said, you were a fan of WCW, but you were a WWE fan at one point, as everybody probably was. But now you focus more on indies. What sort of skewed your opinion away from WWE, if you don't mind me asking?
No, it's okay. And I will try to be brief about it. During the Monday Night Wars, Nitro and Raw, or watching Thunder on Wednesdays and SmackDown on Thursdays, they were competing against each other, and they were giving it all. You had all these greats, and they know how to use everybody. I make the reference many times, and I know Corvin's in the chat, so he's going to knock me, but go to YouTube and type in Val Venus versus D'Lo Brown. I love using it as an example. Two great wrestlers, but they were lower to mid-card guys, and they were wrestling for, I think, the European title, and the fans are going nuts for the intro, when they're coming out to the ring, let alone the match. There was not a single wrestler that didn't have posters in the audience. The audience was covered with posters and signs for their favorite wrestler. Every wrestler had some signs. And it just showed how the life was. Now, WWE's gotten so bad, they don't care. They only push a couple of guys. It's the John Cena show. It's the Roman Reigns show. It's been the Jinder Mahal shows of late, but that was only to try to get the Indian fan base. No disrespect, I've got Indian fan base ourselves, and I love them to death. But we know that what WWE was trying. They stopped caring about doing their best for the fans, you know? So you started to see that in their show and who they were pushing, and the fact that they didn't push anybody outside the top few. So that's what made me fall out of love for it, is not even plain favoritism, it's plain personal desire.
And from what we've obviously all been knowing about, if you've listened to Johnny Florida on his show all the time, is his love for TNA. Now, pretty much where everybody's pretty much given up on it, and I think Johnny has too, because it's pretty much dead. But Johnny was like probably the only person in the world still supporting TNA. Why was that?
Okay, so I will say I was not the only one, but yes, I was one of probably few. The difference was that I had a platform to talk about it. I got into TNA in 2004, and I just started enjoying it. I mean, you had AJ Styles, you had Sanjay Dutt, you had Team Canada, Petey Williams, you had Johnny Devine, you had Christian eventually come in. Later on, you had Kurt Angle, you had Samoa Joe, all these greats that were going on over there, and even just the ones built by TNA and like the ones from Ring of Honor as well, like Christopher Daniels, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, and so on and so forth. It was a complete alternative. You know, a lot of fans stopped watching wrestling when WCW went under and never went to WWE like I did. I was watching both. And a lot of people even turned away from WWE after they did the whole Stone Cold and Vince McMahon joined together in 2001. I was still enjoying WWE back then, but seeing Impact, TNA, it was an alternative, and it was a different style. I mean, you had the America's X Cup, which became the World X Cup. They promoted the X Division. Nobody ever heard of the X Division. You know, the old saying, it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits, the catchphrase of the X Division. It was a full alternative, and you felt that they were trying. It's not they were trying to be number one. They were trying to give an alternative and something brand new, and it had that feeling, and it was just awesome. That's why I loved it for so long, and that's why I held out hope for so long as controversy after controversy after controversy. Thanks to Dixie Carter, Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, the Billy Corgan incident, thanks to Dixie again. I was trying to hold out hope because I can't do WWE. And TNA Impact was the number two. Now it's Ring of Honor because Impact's moved to Canada. And I'm sorry, that was a bit long. Sorry.
Oh, Canada. I won't sing in horribly for people in the chat. So, independent wrestling has taken a rise in the last, say, about 5 years. From where it was before, when you would talk about independent wrestling, and people still do it now, you would talk down upon it as people would look at it for bad production, and the indies wasn't as hot. Like, until about probably the mid-2000s, it's when it probably started to get a little bit of a rise. With people like CM Punk, Chris Hero, Colt Cabana, Daniel Bryan, and all them. What's your opinion on the current state of independent wrestling?
I think it's doing...
And for this, we'll include Ring of Honor and New Japan, even though they're not really independent feds, but we'll include them into this.
So, but anybody not WWE and Impact?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to break it up quickly. For the indies, they used to be called outlaw feds. Anybody that was non-NWA, they were outlaws. Then they became indies after WWE took over. The indies first started taking off in 2002, 2003, and rose and had a few years of a boom. I know it's a pun intended towards Jeff Jarrett. Then things died out for some reason. I think the Benoit incident is what hit a lot of wrestling across. The last few years, like you said, they've been coming back up and rising because people are searching for an alternative and they want their localized wrestling. Jim Cornette said it best, wrestling was not meant to be national. Wrestling was meant to be territorial because the fans, and I'll use the example for you in Australia, the people of Queensland enjoy sports, wrestling, entertainment, art, culture, what have you, different than those of you guys of down in New South Wales or those in Victoria, or those in West Australia, or even the kangaroos up in the Northern Territory. You know, the island of Tasmania. You guys have all differences. Wrestling was the same. People who were in Tulsa, Oklahoma did not like the same kind of wrestling as those in Minneapolis, Minnesota, or New York City, or San Francisco. So that's what the indies are, is they're different. Our show, the WNC, we have relationships with all these different feds across the map. And we've got a fed...
I'll hold you on with that one, because we'll get into your show after the break. So after the break, more of the Sky Genie Show.
The Sky Genie Show will be back after the break. Are you a person looking to get into media for work experience? Then sign up to Sky Genie Entertainment. Sky Genie Entertainment is everything the Sky Genie Show, from the channels to the social media page, marketing and advertising. This is strictly for volunteering, but if you're interested, go to skygenieshow.weebly.com, follow the link to the Sky Genie Entertainment page, and click the link to the inbox, where I will deal with you personally. On that page is a list of positions I am looking for. Check it out today. Looking for a good wrestling podcast for Sundays? Because let's face it, who isn't bored on a Sunday, but also wants to have that lazy day? Then check out the Solomonster Sounds off. He breaks down everything that in the week that was professional wrestling. Also check out his Facebook page, where there's numerous discussions on the topics of professional wrestling. Solomonster Sounds Off drops every Sunday on Podbean. Check out the Sky Genie Show on YouTube, Mixlr, Vimeo, and DTube. Looking for a podcast instead of wrestling? And check out Get in the Corner with Dogger Baby and Yuck Nasty, 8:30 Wednesday night on Mixlr. The Sky Genie Show will not be on this week, so please enjoy the holiday edition. Do you need a good laugh after the crap you see on Monday Night Raw? Then check out the Don Tony and Kevin Castle Show as they break down Raw and current events in professional wrestling. The Don Tony Kevin Castle Show, immediately after Raw. You are listening to the Sky Genie Show.
And it was for Don Tony and Kevin Castle's show, and I started listening, and I started getting into it. I started watching Don Tony Kevin Castle show at that time, eventually learned about Wrestling Soup, and went from there. I didn't know that these shows existed outside of radio. I didn't realize internet radio existed until then. Real putz that I am, you know? But I got into podcasting because of like that, just listening to DTKC and Soup and enjoying it. As for getting into podcasting itself, like to get into podcasting, I was in the chat one time for one of the shows in the Mixlr chat, and Jenkins, Old Man Jenkins, was wanting to do a podcast, and he said he was trying to see if there was anyone interested. And I said, I'm game. So we got into it. He was going to run all the tech, but his computer messed up near the beginning, so I was like, I'll try to take care of it if I can. So I got into starting to do the tech. Next thing you know, I started running the tech because I was able to start learning how to do it all with my computer. So Jenk's taking the back seat on that, which is okay. You know, he's the boss of the entire show. I'm just the tech guy. And that's how it came about. And then over time, we recruited people. You know, we got Michael Corvin, Sue Pete Corvin, to join up because I was doing independent throwbacks. I got him to join up. We got the Javas from Who's Jobbing Who. After that whole downfall, they joined up with us, and Papa Dave joined up. We wanted someone with the real wrestling history background like him. And that's what's happened.
And it's a cool mix-up of people because there's all different ones. Jeff is into WWE. Michael Corvin.
Yeah.
Like, people will say how they don't like Michael Corvin yet, but yet he'll be the only one with the act that will actually be honest. Like, there's not. I think Michael Corvin is big on that show, and I know he will probably go, "Oh God, this is all bullshit." But it's true that guy adds to a lot of the show, a lot of shows because he just says it and doesn't really give a shit. You know what I mean? Like he I can't think of the word, but yeah, he will shoot with it, and it'll be common sense.
Yeah. Well, Mike, the way Mike is, Mike is a lot like the TV show Monk. He has a gift and a curse. The gift is he has this character, if you will, and it's real. This is him. So when I'm saying character, I don't mean he's making it up. He's got this character that just knows how to push buttons and get people going. The curse is he has a character that knows how to get people going and push their buttons. Now, I know how to do it as well, but I do it inadvertently because I'm an annoying asshole. He does it because he likes it. But he is like Stone Cold. He's Stone Cold Corbin. You know, he just outright says something. He does this. He doesn't care. But the thing is that it adds that flair. Where you get people who are passionate like myself and Jeff, who are overtly passionate. Guys like Jenkins and Angelo and Cedric. Cedric's kind of passionate, but he's also mellow, like Angelo and Jenkins are. Papa Dave, who's mellow but passionate, so he's got a mellow passion. Mike is that discorrelation. He's the opposite. He's the whole, I don't care. Or just this and that, it's going to go down, and it's like he's the far opposite. And it's a great mix because of that for what he does. And that's what I love about it.
And the cool thing I appreciate about it, because he'll, somebody might be going on a rant that might not sound logical, and he'll go, really? And it's like, you kind of need that person. I wish I had that person on here, but then you would have that person just go, really? That doesn't make sense. Like, what the fuck? So I think he's worth a lot of money and doesn't even realize it.
Got to make sure Mike doesn't hear that. He's worth a lot of money. Shit!
Hey, remember when I gave that whole Care Bear, I don't care bear thing? If he sold a T-shirt of that dude would make a lot of money from that.
He would. He would. We get a picture of one of those Care Bears on the T-shirt, but replace it with Mike's face or something. I mean, it'd be awesome. I know he'll never allow that, but the face has got to go with it. You know, the I don't care bear. I'm like, that is just, you know, as Papa Dave goes, T-shirt.
That's awesome. Well, we're gonna wrap up this first part of the show. Plugs. Plugs,
first
Johnny.
plug is I'm still stuck in traffic, so it's amazing we've already done the show.
Oh, we still got a few more, but that only the live chat will know that. Well,
right.
The record when I upload it, they'll clearly hear it, because I don't really sort of hide anything from. Like, I'm so weird with doing my shows. Like, if I do a deal, say I have you on, or you or Yuck or somebody on, I won't ever sort of disguise it. Like, I'll even go on Twitter and say, hey, you want to do the show? And I remember Yuck going off at me. He'd go, do you have me? I'm like, well, why? Just do it. Like, I have element of surprise sometimes, but then other times I'll just go, just whatever. So yeah, sorry, go on with your plug, sir. Plug your show.
That's okay. Well, Wrestling's National Committee, the WNC. You can check us out on Mixlr. You can find us on Mixlr, WNC Show. There's a space, WNC space show. Mixlr.com/WNC-show. That's if you do it through the internet like that. You can find us on Fight TV. The name is Breaking News. It's a very clean, generic, doesn't have the WNC name in the title, so it makes it easier for people to find. And we just got our analytics back, and we've got so many international fans. It's amazing. 1 in 5 of our fans is outside the United States, so I'm proud of that. You can check us out on Twitter at WNC4Life. That's the number 4, life spelled Lyfe. You can go to Facebook, Wrestling's National Committee, and we also have a fan group, WNC Nation. Go there, join the group, be part of it, share the wrestling news, the talks, get involved, completely open access like that. Support our Patreon account, Patreon, patreon.com/WNC. We're doing a championship tournament for anybody that donates $10 or more throughout the year. If you donate $10 American throughout the year, we're having a fantasy booking tournament. Whoever wins will be the 2017 champion, and I have a championship belt made great quality, signed by both Kevin Sullivan and J.J. Dillon. And they will be able to win that belt. So, and you can find our shows downloaded either on Fight TV or mixcloud.com/WNC.
Okay. For my show, check out my website, skygenieshow.weebly.com. Go to my Facebook, the Sky Genie Show page. I try to have discussions in there, but nothing ever happens. Half the people I get in there are usually people from some other countries and probably never heard the show in their life. They just seen Sky Genie and thought it was religious, but either way. On Twitter, it's at SDD916. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back with the regular show next week. In the meantime, check on the YouTube, BitChute, D2, VMO. I keep calling it VMO. Is VMO or not?
What?
VMO or Vimo?
Vimo.
There we go. I keep saying it wrong. Either way. There's also Mixcloud. Check out the last episode where I actually brought Johny Florida back to life because to sort of explain a little bit, when the whole hurricane happened in Florida, I kind of killed Johny. And I forget if I've had you on the show in that time or if I brought you back to life in that time or not. But yeah, he's back alive. So check out episode 61 of the Sky Genie Show. Thank you for listening.
If you're going to bring me back to life, it's got to be episode 69. That's my number.
I might have other plans for 69. Wink, wink. Check you out. See you next week.
Yep. Bring back Barnaby Joyce.
This was a Sky Genie Show production.